dem Schwarzbierch-Gebot, bodend wie ein Feuerberg,
Hör mit den...
den Schlund es mir verbrannt, ach Hopfen deine Wut. Her mit dem Knacker ich befahl, hat wie ein Diamant den Zahn entzwei es brach, o hebe deine Wut.
Hebe deine Wut.
Der dem Scheid holdlich
Oh, hebe deine Wut. Let's search for that.
auf den ersten Streich. Alle Seiten des Teris weh ode an die Wut.
Nothing.
Her mit dem Schwarzbierch-Gebot, bodend wie ein Feuerberg.
Nothing. No results.
Und es mir verbrannt, ach Hopfen
With your silence as well, the fellow's jovial wobbling rather rings in the ears, does it not? No, Mr. Sholmes, I must say something does rather trouble me. Pray, Mrs. Sato, do tell. His Royal Highness doesn't appear to have moved a muscle since we arrived. Okay. What do you want to say? He's not dead, is he? Ah. And you haven't said a word either, Iris. Is it a waxwork figure? No way. If Mrs. Sholmes has it all right, you might as well own up to it now. Your reasoning isn't entirely without substance, I must admit. And one other thing, Mr. Sholmes. Yet another grievance, Mr. Naruhodo? Surely not. Well, I actually read the story of that case recently, the one you were just describing. And according to that at least, it wasn't the King of Germany, it was the King of Bohemia. Yeah, it's the King of Bohemia. Goodness, was it? I forgot. Yes, that's quite true. Master Goss, the prince, testified to that in court. In his words, I have come to see the great exhibition all the way from my home in Bohemia. I would ask you to keep that minor error to yourselves. It could easily become quite a scandal. I believe, Mr. Naruhodo, that it's our turn now to make some corrections to a number of minor errors that may have slipped in. Minor errors. Right, even Mr. Sholmes is willing to admit he might be slightly wide of the mark. Although it's clear that Iris is definitely hiding something. We need to find out the truth. But one truth is incontrovertible. My favorite coffee cup is no more. So, shall we embark again on a joint presentation of Sherlock Sholmes' logic and reasoning spectacular? Brodelnd wie ein Feuerberg? This expression is so weird. Okay. Maybe it's a very old song. Follow her gaze. It's not a herbal tea. So what? It's some mix of herbs that gives you the urge to sing? Goodness, I should like to try some. And I'd like to hear you singing, but this man, just how long does he intend to keep up with that tune, do you suppose? As I said, he's been stock still the entire time, and if you look closely, his lips aren't moving either. Ah. so I'm not sure what's actually responsible for the spirited singing. But I suspect the answer lies at the end of Iris's gaze. This is... what? Like a stereo? Oh, hello. Gramophone. Wait, this is a gramophone so rarely seen in our own country? Okay, that's why the quality sounds so bad. I thought it's just the game. The sound certainly appears to be coming from the horn. But machines saying that can't be right. Science and technology are changing the world rapidly, Mr. Naruhodo. What's right is changing too. That's too much for my brain. Well, at least we found our answer.
Take that!
The reason for the man's mildly irritating warbling is revealed by the gramophone. Indeed, for no well-bred gentleman would break into an obscure folk song when making a social call. In other words, this gentleman isn't singing at all. In fact, it would appear that the fellow is unconscious. The music seems to have stopped now. I ask you, Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Why would I have purchased a recording of that gibberish? How should I know? Well, never mind. On with the deduction. Who exactly is this gentleman availing himself so thoroughly? Okay. German origin. This so does look like Professor Mikotoba though, along with the mustache and the hat. Although we've already established that it was actually the king of Bohemia, it seems Mr. Sholmes intends to persist with his Germany theory for some reason. Come to think of it, the young prince was wearing a mask as well, wasn't he? Master Gods, the boy whom you had in tears? Don't remind me, or anyone else. Do you suppose all members of the aristocracy of mainland Europe wear masks? I'm sure they do. Well, probably anyway. The point is, that mask doesn't belong to any king. No, that's right, as we well know. Because we can identify the true owner of this mask. Really? Huh? The true owner of the mask? Where have we seen the mask before? I don't even know. What? I've never seen the mask. Oh wait, that is Kazuma's mask. Kazuma?
Take that!
Yes, there can be no question. That mask belongs to Kazuma Azuki. In other words, my memory is sublimely unreliable. Only you could try to make that sound positive. Kazuma's mask has been languishing on this metal chest for several days. Oh yeah, that's right. Though that doesn't explain why the gentleman is wearing it now. But it is now a simple matter to determine our guest's true identity. After all, the gentleman is unconscious. We need only excuse ourselves in advance, gently lift the mask and peer beneath it. What, taking advantage of an old man like that? Sholmes. I don't believe it. Father? I'm afraid, Mr. Sato, you must be mistaken. No, I think not, Mr. Sholmes. Then it would appear our logic and reasoning has once again revealed the truth. This mysterious visitor is my unconscious father, Yuji Mikotoba. Oh, nice! Nice, Sato. Logic and reasoning, or just looking and saying? The game is doubting his own premises. Love it. Which leaves us with one remaining imponderable. Yes. Iris. A knapsack. So that's a £5 note poking out from Iris's knapsack, is it? Oh dear, I can't be sure. Most money that we encounter is in coin form. I know, I'm not even sure if we've seen any banknotes here in Britain at all, have we? But anyway, Father would never have paid money for Iris's silence. Yeah, I mean, today you wouldn't get far with only coins, would you? I don't think so. Inflation man. He certainly seems like the silent type himself though, judging by his present state. There must be some other reason for Iris's silence, I suppose. Perhaps what Iris is trying so hard not to give away with her eyes is something entirely different. Yeah, we only have the knapsack though. There's nothing else. Knapsack. Oh, metal chest. Wait, it's open. Is it open? This metal chest? It contains important documents, doesn't it? Yes, details of all the cases Mr. Sholmes has worked on over the years. Written up by Iris's father, if I'm remembering correctly. Iris insists that the chest be kept locked at all times. She's never once shown me inside. Well, its contents are invaluable to her, I suppose, and entirely irreplaceable. But look at it now. The catch is unlocked for once. Ah, so it is. That's hard to ignore. Very. I've never seen that chest unlocked before in all the time we've been staying here. What the heck, Mikotoba? Did you do? Did you look into the chest?
Take that!
Yes, the reason for your muteness is concealed inside that metal chest. An excellent observation, for upon closer inspection, there's something different about the chest's appearance. It's kept locked at all times, yet now, the catch is open. Evidently, this has something to do with your refusal to speak, Iris. But it's a simple enough matter to incite you to speak, I'm sure. I merely need to open this chest. Here we go. He's dead. Never. He's not dead. Oh, Holly, I told you not to open it. What? Iris, is that your contraption? Did Professor Mikotoba open it? Or he tried to open it, at least. So you found your voice now, Iris. In other words, what just happened clearly reveals the truth here. Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is... This is somewhat different to the usual dance of deduction you perform with Mr. Sholmes, isn't it? Well, he's left me alone on the ballroom floor, so I'm going to have to dance this next part solo. And anyway, I need to get to the bottom of this for my own peace of mind. Now then, Iris isn't usually the silent type, so... You mean you don't actually know the answer yet, despite that knowing point of the finger before? I'm bluffing. Mr. Sato, you should know me better. Sometimes a man needs to point his finger first and think later. Oh, well, if you say so. I think we'd better examine Iris more closely and try to rescue the situation then. What is this? A key. You opened it? There's a key she's holding, look. I'm sure that wasn't in her hands before, was it? No, you're quite right, it's appeared as if by magic. That's strange, a big old iron key. Where did it materialize from? What? In her mouth? In her mouth? That's not sanitary.
Take that!
Yes, the real reason for your silence until now is that key behind your back. When Mr. Sholmes was thrown into the air before... Just before you called out to try to stop him, you slipped something out of your mouth. That something is the key now in your hands, no doubt the key to the chest. You're so clever, Runa. So now it becomes clear. Thanks to Mr. Sholmes' graphic demonstration, we can well imagine what happened here. But... Professor Mikotoba also opened that metal chest only to be punched into the air. And land sprawled on the settee. But wait, that doesn't explain all the facts. What about the stylish scarf and the cup of tea? And above all, why would he be wearing Kazuma-sama's mask? Well, for those curious details, I can think of only one explanation. Clearly an unbelievable miracle took place in this room. Isn't that right, Iris? Huh? Consider how the room was arranged before this whole painful experience took place. When Professor Mikotoba opened the chest, completely unaware of what awaited him inside, the mask was flung into the air just as he was, only to land neatly on his face when it fell back down. What? That's a miracle. And the teacup's journey through the air ended when it caught on the unconscious professor's finger. What happened? No! Oh my goodness. I thought for one... I thought the game crashed or something, and that would have been terrible because I haven't saved at all. Let's save. Holy crap, what happened? You mean to say that a stylish scarf is actually just a tablecloth? This is the great detective's office after all, a place of miraculous deductions. Oh. Hey, yeah, dance with me, Susato. Would you expect anything less? Yes, you're right. It happened exactly as you said. Brilliant, Runo. Thus concludes Ryunosuke Naruhodo's great deduction of this punchy puzzle. So then, why don't I make a fresh pot of tea for us all?
Objection!
Oh! An admirable performance, Mr. Naruhodo. But in the final act of the show there, you rather missed everything of importance. Mr. Sholmes, if you would cast your mind back to my earlier deduction. Iris, clearly you're hiding a great secret. Oh yeah, we haven't exposed that secret. She is, from the look on her face. Mr. Sholmes must be right. Whatever that great secret is, the cat isn't out of the bag yet. So I put it to you again. You were attempting to abscond with that coffee cup. It really is a shame about Mr. Sholmes' cup. It must have been smashed when Professor Mikotoba opened the chest. Oh dear, so many things seem to have been broken here. Why didn't Professor Mikotoba just put all the things on the chest away before opening it? I mean, what the heck? But now that the deduction has taken a different direction, Iris doesn't seem to be trying to hide the broken cup anymore. In other words, her great secret is something else. Let's put our observational skills to work here. Oh, Iris! Clever, clever girl. Case file. Is it a case file that Sholmes forbade her to publish the manuscript?
Take that!
Oops, I wanted to investigate further, but it has to be this, right? You were attempting to abscond with that case file. Iris, as you know very well, nothing escapes the attention of a great detective. Oh no! We visited Scotland Yard's autopsy laboratory earlier today, and Dr. Gorey informed us that the autopsy report of Clint Van Zieks had gone missing. Clint Van Zieks? Yes, I do seem to recall that some years ago I asked to see the report in question. You were with me, weren't you, Iris? You mean it was you, Iris? So those papers you have there are... I'm sorry. Forgive me. In truth, I would like to have thought I could have predicted the booby-trapped chest. But it caught me completely off guard. I was very nearly the late consulting detective Sherlock Holmes. Don't be so melodramatic. I'm sorry, Holly. So you mean this autopsy report really is... Yes, I took it from the lab, even though I knew it was very important. Was there something in it that troubled you, Iris? Not exactly something that troubled me. Something I'd been looking for. When I saw this report, when I saw the writing in it, I knew it was Daddy's. The writing? Your father's writing, what do you really mean? He was the coroner in that case. Iris, it must be something that's hard for her to talk about. Forgive me for interrupting, my dear fellows. Mr. Sholmes, what is it? I feel as though the poor, unconscious gentleman on the settee has been somewhat forgotten. Father? Perhaps we should find our guest somewhere more peaceful to rest. Mr. Naruhodo, yes? Would you be so kind as to lend him your bed? We must do our very best to make him comfortable, I feel. My bed? In the attic? You want me to carry him into the attic? Oh, yes, of course, I'll help you carry him up. Oh, so will I. Okay. No, I can manage alone, thank you. You have tea to enjoy? We wouldn't want Iris's brew to stew. Oh, okay. Because there's no better way to make the professor comfortable than dragging him upstairs like a trunk. I wonder, perhaps that was deliberate. Maybe Mr. Sholmes is making himself scarce to give Iris the chance to talk more freely. Ah! We must use this opportunity to talk with Iris and find out what's going on. Did she find out the truth about her dad from Mikotoba? Would you like to tell us about it, Iris, about your father? I'm sure I told you before, didn't I? That Daddy used to be Hurley's partner. Yes, and that notes about all the cases they solved together are kept inside that metal chest. That's right. Hurley told me, you see? He said that Daddy's somewhere far away now, so we can't meet. That's one way of describing it. Then, when I secretly unlocked the chest and read through the papers inside, I started to build up a picture in my head of what Daddy must be like. Well, that's only natural. You're just like any other girl of your age. I read that Daddy was a professor of medical science, so I studied and took my degree too. Well, that's only natural, I suppose. In that respect, you're not quite like any other girl of your age, though. In a good sense. But there was one thing that I could never find out. Daddy's name. Wait, what? You don't know? Wait, what? Ah. Huh? He's John H. Wilson, right? His name wasn't anywhere on any of the notes that he'd made about his work with Hurley. But the stories you write, you always put his name on it, right? But then one day... That's what happened, is it? When you saw this autopsy report, you finally managed to work it out, is that right? Ah. Yes. So it was the handwriting in the report that caught her eye. When I saw the writing on that report, I could hardly believe it. I know that handwriting, I thought to myself. Because it was the same as the writing you'd seen on your father's case notes. Exactly. I was desperate to compare the two properly. I needed to see them side by side. I asked the doctor in the laboratory, but I was told I couldn't take the report away. And even worse, I was told that was the first and last time we'd be allowed even to look at it there. So you decided to steal it? And when I compared the autopsy report with the case notes I had here, there was no doubt. The handwriting was exactly the same. It was Daddy's. And the signature of the coroner at the bottom of the autopsy report. Read Dr. John H. Wilson. And so that's how I finally found out. I learned Daddy's name at last. I see. Ever since then, I've called myself Iris Wilson, and that's also when I had the brilliant idea of writing stories all about Daddy's exciting times with Early. I decided there and then that I'd write the adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Oh, Iris, I had no idea the stories had quite such a deep personal significance for you. I can see why the autopsy report was so important to her now. And why she was prepared to break the law to get her hands on it.